Alright, so today we're going to talk about 2.3, subtracting rational number notes. Okay, so to start off, subtracting rational numbers are very similar to adding rational numbers. There's just one extra step. So when you add or subtract regular fractions, you get a common denominator, do all those steps. But when you are adding or subtracting rational numbers, it's just like when you're adding integers. Your first step is you look for a double negative. So when you're subtracting, you look for that double negative. So on number 1, you should see there's a negative here and there's a negative here. So that makes them positive. Okay, step 2, make sure they have the common denominator. So if we look at our denominator, we have 9. We have 9, they are the same. Step 3, we circle our terms. So positive 4 nines, positive 2 nines. Step 4, we go ahead, since they're the same signs, we combine them. So 4 plus 2 is 6, and then 9, 9, we do not combine the denominators. That is a big thing we have to remember from previous. You do not get to add the denominator, you just add the numerators, okay? That is why we get a common denominator. So my answer for this answer would be 6 nines. But do we do it in the simplest form? It's the simplest form. No, there is something that goes into 6 and 9. 3 does. So divide by 3, divide by 3. This becomes 2/3, and that is your true answer. Make sure you read directions. If it says simplest form, you need to simplify. All right, going on to number 2. So first of all, do we see a double negative? No, but we can go ahead and circle our terms, right? Circle our terms. Okay, they are opposite signs, but since we're subtracting, let's go ahead and make this an addition. So negative 2/3 seventh and plus a negative 1 2/3. Okay, let's go ahead and make these improper. So 7 times 2 plus 3. 7 times 2 is 14 plus 3 is 17 sevenths, and that's negative, plus a negative 3 times 1 plus 2, which is 5/3. Now we want to get a common denominator. With 3 and 7, the closest thing is 21. So how I do 7 times 3 to get 21. So if I do times 3 down here, I have to do times 3 up here. So I'm going to do 7 times 3, which is 21. And then we do 17 times 3, which is 21. Or 51, sorry, excuse me, 51. Okay, then we do the same thing. We want this to be 21, so we do 3 times 7. And so what we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So the top becomes 35 because 5 times 7 is 35. Okay, and then we do 3 times 7, which gives you your 21. Okay, and then now we have a common denominator. Now we circle our terms again. And same signs we combine, so 51 plus 35. We get 86, so we get 86 over 21. Now I got to think, how many 21s are going to go into 86? Which should be 4, so I'm going to get 4. 4 times 21 is 84, so I subtract 84 from 86. 86 minus 84 is 2, and over 21, and we keep the sign, so this should be still negative. 4 and 2 21s. Okay, so what I did was basically said how many 21s can fit into 86? 21, 42, 63, 84, and then I took that 84 because if I go one more 21, it's going to be over 86, and then I subtracted it and I got negative 4 and 2 21s. Alright, so now first step again, just like normal rational numbers, we look for a double negative. There is a double negative. This negative is next to this one, so it becomes positive. Now I circle, since it's not a fraction, I don't have to get a common denominator, so I can skip that step. Circle my terms. Okay, opposite signs we subtract, and we look at our ones place. The 2 is bigger than 1, so I put the 2.35 on top. 1.27, opposite terms we subtract. So I borrow from 3. That's 15 minus 7 is 8. 2 minus 2 is 0. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then 2.35 was bigger, which is negative. So we keep the negative 1.08. So that is how you add or subtract. That is how you subtract rational numbers. Okay, so find the distance between the two numbers on a number line. Okay, so if I you are going to go ahead and subtract them, okay? So you're going to take negative 3 1/4 minus negative 6 1/2. So first step, you see a double negative, we change that to a positive, okay? Then we go through the steps just like before. So 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13, so I get 13 fours, plus 6 times 2, which is 12, plus 1 is 13, and I have 13 twos. So 4 is my common denominator, so the first fraction gets to stay the same. Second one, we're going to times by 2 to get it to 12 or to 4. So this bottom one becomes 4. And then this top one, 13 times 2 is 26. So this becomes 26 on the top. So this should become 26. Then we go, this should become 26. Then we go ahead and we circle our terms. Opposite terms, we subtract 26 minus 13, which then gives you 13 over 4. And it's positive because 26 is bigger and 26 is a positive 26 over 4. And let's go ahead and make it a proper fraction. 4 goes into 13 3 times, so minus my 12. 13 minus 12 is 1/4. So 3 1/4, they are 3 1/4 distance apart. Okay, same thing. So we're going to take negative 1.5 minus 2.8. Okay, circle our terms, negative 1.5, negative 2.8. We can make this an addition, negative 1.5 plus a negative 2.8. And opposite signs we go ahead and combine, or same signs we combine. So let's line it up, 2.8 plus 1.5. This becomes 13. Carry the 1. 4. Drop the decimal. As soon as you get past that decimal, make sure you drop it, and you keep the sign. Okay, on distance, you can never have a negative distance. So when you are thinking of a distance, you need to go ahead and make it positive. After you, even if it's a negative 4.3, the distance is really a positive 4.3 because there is no negative distance. You can't go a negative foot, but you can go back a foot, but you're still traveling a foot at that time, okay? So be careful with that. Alright, I want you guys to go ahead and pause the video and try number 6 on your own, and then I will walk through it really fast on here. Alright, so let's walk through this really fast. So I have negative 4 minus a negative 7 1/3. Okay, double negative. This becomes negative 4 over 1 plus 7 over 1/3. We make it improper, so this becomes 21 22/3. And then we need the same ending, so I'm going to times this by 3, times this by 3, so I get 12 over 3 negative plus a 22 over 3. Opposite signs when we circle them, so 22 minus 12, which gives you 10 over 3, which then ends with 3 1/3. And it's a distance, so it's a positive 3 1/3 distance. Alright, so moving on. Okay, now we're going to do a couple steps. So we're not just doing one, we're doing a couple. So looking at number 7, so step 1, we work left to right. When we add or subtract, we should know this from PEMDAS, so it's a positive, negative, but we first need to get a common denominator. So I'm going to first make this improper, so this becomes 5 over 2. This stays 7 over 6. This is negative, okay? And then we need to get a common denominator, so that 2 becomes a 6, because 6 and 2, the greatest common factor is 6. And then if I times the bottom by 3, I have to times the top by 3. So 15 times 3 gives you, or 3 times 5 is 15. And then we circle terms, 15, negative 7, 6. We end up with 8, 6. And it's a positive because 15, 6 is bigger. Okay, and then we're going to keep going. So we did all these so far. And now we have that minus 1 3/4. So 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. So this becomes 7. And we go ahead and get a common denominator between 6 and 4 is 24. So 6 times 4 and 8 times 4, because what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So 6 times 4 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. Okay, then we move on and we do the same thing. We got to get 4 to 24, so we times the bottom by 6. And when we do the bottom, we have to do the top, so 6 times 6, so this is 24, and then 7 times 6 is 42, I apologize. Okay, so 42. And then we circle, so this is positive, this is negative. Opposite signs we subtract, so 42 minus 32, we take the bigger number first, and I get 10 over 24. 42 is bigger and it's negative, and we have to reduce, so what goes into 10 and into 24? 2. So I divide by 2, and I get 5 over 12 negative, and that would be my answer. Alright, so I would like you to pause the video, go ahead and try number 8. Let's see if we can do it without me. Alright, so let's real quick step through this. So we look for double negatives, first step, there we go, done. Okay, then we go left to right, so 2.37, positive 1.55, same signs we combine, so we combine those. We have to line up the decimals in order to add them. 7 plus 5 is 12, carry the 1, 8, 9, and we get 3.92. So I have 3.92, and it's positive because you keep the sign, minus 2.48, circle 3.92, negative 2.48, opposite signs we subtract, so 3.92 minus 2.48, and we borrow, we get 4, 8 minus 4, and we get 1.4, and it is positive because 3.92 is bigger, so my answer would be 1.44. Okay, make sure you are looking for double negatives, going through the steps and everything, okay? Last question we have, your friend drinks 2/3 of a water bottle, you drink 5/7 of a water bottle. Find the difference of the amounts of water left in each bottle. So let's go ahead and take 2/3 minus 5/7. Okay, so this is 2/3, negative 5/7. Opposite signs we subtract, but we first have to get a common denominator to be able to do that. So step 1, get that common denominator. So 2/3, so it would become 21. 3 times 7 gives you 21, so 2 times 7 is 14. And then 7 times 3 gives you 21, so 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, circle our terms. We have a negative and positive, opposite signs we subtract, so 15 minus 4 is 1. And we keep that 21, and that negative 15 is bigger than 14, so we keep it negative. So technically, the difference between each bottle is 1/21. Alright, that is 2.3, subtracting rational numbers. Thank you.